Sorry. Welcome to Maritime Destination. Today we have Miss Sonali Banerjee. She's the first lady marine engineer, and she's working with IRS as a senior surveyor, and she's associate member of WISTA Vista. Welcome Sonali ji to Maritime Destination.
Namaskar Gaganji, and thank you so much for giving me this platform to be associated with Maritime Destination. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you so much, and we are proud to have you, first lady engineer, on our show. My first question, Sonali ji, since you are the first marine engineer, was it just a fascination to join the maritime sector, or you were aware about the facts also? And how has been this challenging journey so far?
Well, Gaganji, now to talk of my journey, how it started, my story would not be very different from that of what a 10+2 boy or girl is facing currently, the dilemmas that they go through, the various career options that way they have to consider.
Yeah.
Having had said that, I had my own relatives, my own brother-in-law who was a captain at that time, Captain Shubhit Chatterjee. So after 10+2, when I cleared my IIT joint entrance examination, DMET was one of the considerations, DMET and TNS Chanakya. So I spoke to him at length, and I was of course always fascinated by his sea career, you know, the glitz and glamour that is associated, the challenges, it is a challenging career, I mean, whatever it was. And having had said that, when I got an opportunity and I got selected for this thing, I thought, why not avail this opportunity, you know, and take this up as a career. I mean, it was kind of a dream that I had lived all along, and this was my opportunity to grab it. So that's how I got into it. And it was only after joining DMT that I came to know that there were no other women around in the college. So that was the time I came to know that I was the first one, and not that it was something I had decided to be the first one.
So, how was the first day at Training Institute?
Well, all along I had interacted with people, my so-called friends who were in 10+2 and you know, who were also preparing for the various entrance examinations and had cleared medicals and engineering. So when I spoke to them, I had a certain picture in mind about how a conventional engineering college would be. But when I went to DMET, the atmosphere was very different. I may say it was in line with that of any other paramilitary institute. The uniform, the discipline, the hostel life, everything that was told to me was something I was not really in line with, like a regular engineering college. But as they say, you know, it's different knowing something and realizing it is altogether another thing. So when I joined, and it was very different, something I was not really prepared for. But then I thought, and I told to myself that this is what the challenge was all about. You know, it was a decision I had taken, and I need to stand by my decision. And today I'm very happy that I made that choice. Thank you.
So, how was the whole journey from training to now? You are with IRS and with Vista and also. How was the journey now?
Well, of course, it's a very long journey, and with the various ups and downs. I would not give you a very rosy picture, but because it was not like that. It came with its own set of challenges. Starting, if I say, the 4 years in DMET, they had its own set of challenges because, as you know, there were no other women around. The first 3 years, I was the only lady in the college. It was only when I was in 4th year that there were 2 more lady cadets joined. So I was all alone, and I had to interact with the boys only. And this, I'm talking of a society 20 years back. 20 years back, what had happened, and the society was not so prepared to have a single lady in an all boys college and an all boys hostel. And most of the people came from backgrounds wherein they thought you know, the women who are homemakers, they are the, you know, best women and the most virtuous, more kind of thing. So that's their expectation. So when they found something which was not really matching up to that image, it was not easy for them, and their reactions were not easy for me also. Today, with more number of girls coming up, the society has also changed and evolved so much. That time it was really difficult dealing with the mental issue. Regarding the
Correct.
studies, training and all, they groom you to face life at sea. So it's like they have a section dealing with the physical fitness of all their cadets so that they can actively participate in on board activities. The technical aspects are there. So they prepare you like that for life at sea. So those 4 years were there, but and then when I joined ship, again people were not prepared. They have never seen women working with them, shoulder to shoulder on board the ship. So there again, there was its own set of challenges, the acceptance. But this acceptance criteria was there initially, and after the initial phase is done, then they start accepting you with open arms to be a part of them. And dealing with the mental
But
challenge has always been more difficult.
okay, but now when you visit the training institutes and all or the ship, do you find any change in last 20 years in the mindset of the people? And
Definitely, there is a lot of change because when I say 20 years back, people did not know what exactly to expect. It was kind of an experiment. Okay, the government had opened its institute, let us allow women to get admitted, and let us see how it goes. But when I see the scenario today, that time it was a big question mark. I mean, how she is going to take things ahead, whether it will be a success or not. All those questions were there. And on top of that, people will have their own set of stories that, somebody joined and this is what happened to them. So those things used to be there at that time. I think now the scenario is so much better. I talk to the girls, they are so much more confident. They are also very confident of dealing with members of the other gender. They don't feel intimidated by the rules, guidelines, or the policies. And I think they are doing very well. They are very confident, very high in self-esteem. But having it said that, the employment opportunities need to improve. We need to have an employment scenario wherein it will be a more inclusive environment. It will give equal opportunities to both boys and girls.
now, today India is talking about the women empowerment. How you analyze this women empowerment in shipping? And post COVID-19, how do you see the job scenario for the women seafarers?
Well, if you talk of women's empowerment, I know like in India, globally, everywhere, people are taking this ahead with a lot of thrust that, women have to be brought up to the same platform as men. And we need to reach a stage where we no longer want to talk about women's empowerment. That needs to be an agenda of the past. So that is what the whole world is working at. But having it said that, this pandemic has definitely taken everybody, including our own country, on say a few years back in terms of employment opportunities, employment of the resources, the economy, and everything. So that definitely is going to affect the seafarers. It's already started affecting because the sign-on, sign-off process has got delayed. There are so many issues. The sign-on, sign-off, if the sign-off is delayed, sign-on gets delayed, and the whole thing takes a backseat. So definitely it has taken its toll on seafarers. And if we talk of women who are working ashore also, the women ashore, they were working on, say, on some kind of ecosystem that they were dependent on. Suppose a lady goes out to work, she is dependent on, say, a creche or a daycare center or a maid who would be taking care of that. So that was how the economy was running. So now with that system collapsing because of the COVID-19 pandemic, it has laid a greater stress on the women who are going out to work. Most of them who have the opportunity to work from home, for them it may not be that a big challenge, but some professions do not give you that opportunity to operate from home, wherein you need to give some services outside the comfort of your home. So it has affected them to a great extent. And I'm sure, like with in due course of time, with the support of the government and the industry people, we will be able to overcome this.
Is it affecting ship survey also?
No, if I may say about the surveys, yes, surveys had to be postponed because a lot of issues were there with respect to the docking, with respect to the various service suppliers like a radio firm or a thickness measurement firm or say LSA, FFA items servicing and all. So the surveys were postponed with the cooperation of the industry and the flag state, and now things are gradually resuming. So there is not much of a difference there as of now.
So no compromise on safety at sea.
Not really, because even the postponements were done with respect to after a lot of consideration to various aspects. Whatever things could be done on a remote surveys, they tried doing that to the best of the judgment. And subsequently, after the postponement, the surveys are already being offered. So I don't see any reason why the safety is affected.
Correct, correct. And one more thing, there is a very less percentage of female seafarers, but there are several association of the women's. How do you see this?
Well, the reason I see there are so many organizations mushrooming around to take care and speak about the women seafarers are that women were not finding adequate representations in the other organizations. Still, this all this women association started mushrooming around. There was not, and there was not adequate representation. And if there is not adequate representation, your issues will not be dealt with the same seriousness as it should be. Yes, that was the reason why all these organizations are coming to the forefront to take up the women's issue pertaining to seafaring as a career.
Or did you find any discrimination with the other associations or unions? Was there any discrimination?
Well, if you talk about me personally in my career so far, I have not encountered any sort of discrimination so far. Of course, kuch mental mindsets and all are there, but then that will reduce over a period of time. There will not be one fine morning you get up and you feel that discrimination is all gone. But generally speaking, industry has been very supportive and receptive to the needs of women, and they have promoted us so far. So I really thank them for whatever good they have. But they need to be more upfront and be more open in their approach when they employ a seafarer. Because we need to have a very inclusive environment. When we represent India on a global platform, we cannot say that we have only empowered our selected few women and not as a women community.
In the last, Sonali ji, you are inspiration to many young lady seafarers. What message you'd like to give them?
The only thing I would like to give to any lady seafarer message that when you make a decision of joining a sea life, it is not a regular decision. It's a conscious decision which is made by you, and you have to put in all your efforts to meet the demands of the profession. That is the only way you can succeed as a seafarer for whatever tenure of your life you intend to take up seafaring as a career. And you have to work on the same footing like a boy. You cannot say I go to the ship and then I expect expect to be treated like a lady.
Correct.
The job scope is very well defined, the timings are defined, and there is very limited resources on the ship. So within that ship resource, we have to manage and we have to deal with emergencies, we have to deal with all, say, port state inspections, the wettings, the regular runs of the ship, the cargo operation, name it. You have to deal with everything. So there you cannot be expected to be treated like a lady.
Sure, correct.
You have to be a seafarer at par with the men.
So we can say that before joining any career, fact check is more important than the fascination.
Fact check is important, but again, having had said that, knowing something and realizing are two different aspects.
Different.
You have to be into it to be able to understand what exactly it all about and how far it is suiting you and how far it is not.
Correct.
It is only after you jump into it you understand that you get to realize about the various, how should I say, the various dimensions associated with any career.
Correct.
Specifically about seafaring, because you are staying away from your social life and you don't get the comfort of your family when you come back in the evening. So you have to deal with all those issues. You have to make friends with your fellow seafarers. So you have to get yourself adapted to that atmosphere so that you can be at ease at your workplace.
Okay, thank you so much, Sonali. Thank you so much for spending time and.
Thank you so much, Gaganji. It was absolutely wonderful talking to you this evening.
Thank
My
you so much.
pleasure to
Thank
be
you.
associated.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.